Oh, boys and girls, we are on a fine sun. The sun is shining. It's almost cookout time, and look who we have as our special guest. It's Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid, and my very special guest, Hot Dog Starks. What's up, baby?
What's up? What's up? It's your boy, the one, the only hot dog man from Hot Dog Land. My name is Hot Dog Starks.
Yes, I've been waiting all day for that. I've been waiting all week for that, actually. Uh, my man, I cannot appreciate you taking the time and talking to us, the fans, because that's what this is for. We get to learn about our fine talent that we see in ring. We invite them on the show. We act to them a little bit, and we just have some fun. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. I thank you for having me on. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of want to start with something that I mentioned before we hit the old record button. I've known Hot Dog as a performer for a few years now. We don't know each other personally, but as a performer, I've seen you over the years, and you've always been. And the very first time I ever saw you was at a Blitzkrieg show a few years back, and I've seen you over the course, but you've always been in a hot dog costume,
Yeah,
if you will, and we're definitely going to dive into all of that.
yeah.
But very recently, boys and girls, I don't know if you stalk his face page like I do, but my boy is leveled up a few levels, if you will. He's changed his gear, and I want to start right with all of that because you've been a hot dog for a long time. Not that you're not a hot dog anymore, hot
Yeah,
dog start,
yeah.
but please talk to us. What's with the evolution of character? Because we love evolution of character, my friend.
I felt like it was about time, you know. I felt like wearing the hot dog itself, I felt like it took away from what I can actually do in a wrestling ring.
Mm,
So, as a hot dog, as a gimmick, if we're going behind the scenes, as a gimmick, you don't have to do much. As when I was hot dog, I'm still hot dog. When I was wearing a hot dog costume, I didn't have to do much, and I felt that wasn't fair to the fans. That wasn't fair to the people who like watching me perform. So I was like, it's time for a change. So I designed some stuff. I got it made. It came in, and I was like, this is what I'm doing now. I'm unbunned, if you will. So yeah, I like the gear change. It's cool. It's cool so far. I had a match yesterday, and that was
oh,
pretty fun. But I didn't realize, being that I've always, I would say I didn't do too much in wrestling. Like I would entertain, yes, but like as far as like movement wise and everything else, I felt like I wasn't doing that much. So as now being unbunned, the sky's the limit. I can break that. I can break that limit, and I can do what everybody else is doing when I can actually perform and entertain at the same time. So I think
yeah.
the change is actually for the better.
That's going to be the name of this episode, Unbunned. That is beautiful. I love that analogy. That's excellent. So you had your first match. Could you please talk to us because you've worn a hot dog costume over the course, and now you're in some regular gear, and you're able, like you said, you want to switch it over because I know a lot of the guys that are gimmicky wrestlers, if you will, they don't get the chance to get that in-ring shine,
Hmm.
if you will, because they're always doing their thing with the entertainment portion of what they're bringing to the table. Talk to us about the differences of walking into the ring with regular gear and performing, like getting in the ring and like really working without that hot dog costume.
So I'm still like in weird stages of it now. Like I came out with the suit yesterday,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and then like a point of the match where I got hit really hard, I was like, you know what? The gloves are off, the suit's off, I'm unbuttoned, and I'm on hinge, and I'm about to go crazy. So I think it's just that switch. Yeah, I can be entertaining as well, but I also can wrestle, and I have that aggressiveness about me.
Mm.
As Hot Dog Starks, as a regular character with a hot dog suit, I felt like that aggression that I wanted to portray wasn't always there. That it wasn't allowed to be there because
Right.
people weren't going to take it seriously. But now I can unbun. I can take it off now, and when people can see the look on my face, they can see how chiseled my arms are, and they can see my aggression, and I love that. I love when people can now see what I wanted to portray as a hot dog, But now they see it now when I'm unbun, so I think that's good.
Now, I absolutely love what you're doing here as an evolution of a character. Um, Being taken seriously as a gimmick guy, you're stereotyped into that. Hey, man, you want to come in? We're going to put you up against blah, blah, blah. And you know what to expect. But now as you're being I love that tagline. That is amazing. As you're being unbunned, whenever I saw the first pictures arise on the social medias, as a fan, I went, holy shit, look at Hot Dog, because that was something I have not seen from you ever. This is the first time you've ever tried something different, leaning away from that character. Well, again, you're not going away from the character of a hot dog, but the hot dog Starks. But there's a differential there, though. What made you want to get to this point? Because there is a time in your career when you're like, there's a spark, there's a moment, a match, or some time off during the virus. What made this happen for you?
I would say being that like I watch a bunch of my friends who I'm really close with, them having a lot of success, some getting signed, some are in places I would like to be in. And I'm like, okay, what makes them stand out as opposed to what makes me stand out? Okay, why are they being used? Why am I not being used? Okay, I see why they're being used because they're great talent. Why am I not being used? I'm also great talent. However, as I mentioned before, gimmicks have limitations. So you can't always put a hot dog in a match with these guys, with these names, these guys who kill it in the ring. You can't always do that because you're going to get a comedy match out of it. Right. That's not saying I can't wrestle because the one thing you're not supposed to do is cover your talents with gimmicks. I'm still Hot Dog Starks at the end of the day, but I just felt the need to switch it up. I didn't want to be limited to what I could do in the ring. I want to control my own career. I want to control my own destiny and my own wrestling life. So I'm not going to let anyone else dictate that. So I think this was a smart move. Also, that suit, man, I would buy a suit every year. I would buy one hot dog suit every year around late September because getting ready for Halloween and stuff like that. And man, those suits are like hard to like see out of. So that's a big point too. I can't see that well with those suits on. So man, I can tell you a bunch of matches where I was trying to wrestle as with the suit on, and I just couldn't see. So I looked very uncoordinated, which actually goes with the character. I'm a hot dog. I'm a goofy looking guy, but I don't want to look goofy anymore. I was like, look, it's time to take all this stuff off. It's time to switch it up. Still embrace all of it. Like that's why I still have a hot dog emblem on my chest, on my trunks, on my wrist pads. I needed that change. I really needed it because I really wanted to showcase what I can do and how can I be accepted in this wrestling community as a actual wrestler, not just as a gimmick.
I like how you started that answer and how you ended that answer. Also in the middle because the very first thing that I saw when you put out those pictures is he still Hot Dog Stark? So I zoomed in and there was the hot dog. It was right there, like you said, you're not leaning away from that, but you're presenting yourself in a different manner. And the way you started that answer, though, I absolutely love because we're seeing guys like, I'll just use a couple examples if I could. We're seeing guys like Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, and I know you're very familiar with two of those guys coming together as the Acclaimed and getting signed real quick, like might I add, to AEW. We're seeing the likes of Layla Hirsch, and I know you're very familiar with her. Congratulations to her on a very recent signing. We're seeing guys like Anthony Green and Christian Casanova on the flip side going to NXT. So you as an athlete and a performer are seeing this from a distance, seeing your peers go to these places and hitting a different platform. How can I get there? I want to be taken more seriously, but still be hot dog starts. I think you are an absolute fantastic direction, my friend. I can't wait to see you like really start blossoming as an in-ring performer, away from the costume. I think this is going to be so fantastic for your career.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Wrestling, I feel like, is all about evolving. I felt like being Hot Dog Starks, being a guy with a hot dog suit on for maybe 4 or 5 years, it can be stale. What more can I possibly do? How can I elevate this? And this is the next evolution of Hot Dog Starks slash the Bundertaker. Um, I I didn't like the fact that I wore a hot dog suit with a Star Wars cloak, and that was goofy in itself, right? So I said, what did I do? I designed a entrance jacket, which is like the undead hot. It's so cool. It's so cool. I don't know if you guys seen it or not. I have a hood on, it's crazy. It's studs on the mustard. It's crazy. It's ripped up a little bit. I love it. Um, because I want people to take this serious. I want people to. This is the first time I've actually purchased wrestling gear.
Mm.
I would wear custom made women's leggings, size 2XL, with my logos and stuff printed on it, and I'll wear those to the ring. And I want people to take me serious. How can I do that? And I got these big hamburger helper / Mickey Mouse type gloves, and I want people to take me serious. They can't take me serious if I'm doing all that, if I'm wearing all that. But they can't take me serious if I just take them off, slam them down, take the suit off, throw it down, and I put that angry face on. That means it's time. It's go time for the hot dog.
That's for sure. Um, all of these little things that you've added to the character Hot Dog Starks, the Bundertaker, Unbunned, and all of these little things that make a character come alive, not only for you, but for us as a fan when you come out especially because you're active on the social medias and you give us that stuff to look at and whatnot. I feel you're a very creative person, and I know that this is you're gonna totally shine. Whatever you've got going on right now in this evolution, and I know you've got some more ideas up in your head. I know you're very creative, and I am so stoked to see what's in the future for Hot Dog Starts, because we see these guys. We've seen a guy like Steven Stetson. He was Big Cal. He changed his physique from Team Adams, changed his physique a bit. And he's become Steven Stetson, got an AEW dark shot with Tony Vega, and then made a return. I mean, things can happen real quick. We all know, my friend, in wrestling, one day can always make a difference. You never know what's going to happen in wrestling.
Very true. Very true. Very, very true.
Now, this whole thing about the hot dog, I've been wanting to dive into this because what makes you come up with, all right, there's a million different directions I can go with as becoming this character. You know what? I'm going to be a hot dog. Was this on you? Was this a collaboration of people around you? How did the hot dog come about?
All right. So I always tell people the story. So when what year was it? I'm trying to think of what year it was. I'm going to say probably like 2016. Yeah, 2016 is probably the year I started being a hot dog. I had just got let go from this job I was working at, and that sucked. And I was like kind of like upset because it was like a couple days before my birthday. One of my closest friends in wrestling, he was like, "Hey, like, do you want to go to the mall with me?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I got nothing else to do. Let's go." We go to this a Target, and we see all these like funny looking suits. He puts on like a shark suit, and I found a hot dog suit, and I was like, let me try this on. All right, so I played like I think it was the Heavenly Bodies Heart Foundation remix theme song. Um, and I was like, I'm gonna press record and see what happens. So I'm just shucking and jiving, right? I made this video with this hot dog suit on, but I didn't release that video that year. I released it the next year of that day, and I was like, you know what? Like, why not? Why not release it? It's my birthday, right? Why not release it? I'm not gonna get in trouble. There's not gonna be heat on me, because it's my birthday. Um, so when I released it, it just kind of blew up, and man, it blew up kind of quick because all these people, all these promoters are like, "Hey, you should totally wear that to wrestle." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll think about it." And then I get a text from one of the promoters for WrestlePro, and he's like, "I hope you have that suit because I booked you for this event." I didn't have the suit. This is a video that was a year old. Yeah. So I had to gather whatever monies I had, and had to get that suit. And I debuted, and it was beautiful. I didn't have to do anything because everybody was already engaged because there's a guy in a hot dog suit parading around the entire ring. Oh, that's the guy in a hot dog suit flying off the top rope, flying wiener, right? So I already had that that power right there and then, and it just kept coming and coming and coming. But yeah, that's how that's how I came up with it. I wasn't sure of it. I didn't know what exactly to do as a hot dog. I already had a wrestling style that I was comfortable with, but now here is a gimmick. What do I do with a gimmick? Okay, and as I told you before, we had. I remember you interviewed me. He was like, "What is a hot dog?" And I was like, "Okay, a hot dog is pretty much everything, all the ways into one thing." So yeah, I told you I'm the Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan, The Undertaker, all in one, because I could do all that. I was literally portraying what a hot dog is, but in terms of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you speak of, we were at an event and I do these promos and I asked the talent if they might mind taking about a minute and a half and just do a quick little fun promo, and we share them and we have some fun. And you gave me all of that, and I'm like, as I'm watching you cut this promo, and this is we're gonna touch upon this topic. While you're cutting this promo, I'm like, this guy knows exactly what his character is. He's totally embraced it. And on the fly, he's giving me this as a promo. I absolutely love this guy. I got to see more of him. I've got to talk more to him. I just found that if you were in a damn hot dog suit or not, my friend, you were very professional. You came off right off the ripper, very quick-witted, if you will, and did that promo. And I'm like, this guy is money. Promos, did these come easy to you, or did it take some time to kind of gather?
I felt like it kind of took a while because I didn't know what I wanted to say, like as an intro. Like I didn't know. I think I had like a long intro before I even started my promo, where it was like nothing but like raps and rhymes, just so I can keep people going, keep them engaged. And I was like, this is too long. What can I possibly like do? How can I shorten this? So now it's literally like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages, I am the one, the only hot dog man from Hot Dog Land. My name is Hot Dog Starks. And that's my intro now. That's what I say before I even give a promo. So that's what I usually stick with. But it wasn't easy because trying to find out exactly what I am, or what I was, trying to figure that out was kind of difficult. And no one really can help me with that because everybody else are wrestlers. Everybody else can do this by themselves. They can cut their own promos. But like as far as helping me, they couldn't help me because they were like, we don't even know what to do with this, So yeah, I had to come up with it on my own. And I guess I'm pretty sure it works out. Like I think it's still good.
Yeah. No, I relish the fact that you've embraced. No, I really do. I think when you embrace a character like that, and it really shows. That's my whole point of getting to this, because if you don't wholeheartedly feel a character and you're just kind of going through the motions and you're like, I'm really not into this, but I'm just going to do this because X promoter wants me to, or because my trainer wants me to, you can just tell. But if a wrestler embraces that character and rolls with it, man, you can absolutely tell. And you're having it such a blast with it, a lot of fun. You engage with the fans. And that's what wrestling is like 90% really about. I mean, it's a lot of work getting yourself physically ready, mentally ready, the character, the gimmick, and all of that. But engaging us with you is such a big part of that one match when you have to tell your story, who you are, what you're going to do, and all of that stuff. So again, I relish everything you've brought to the table because you've done a fine job. Now, when you speak now, because you're going to be dressed a little bit differently, is everything going to be kind of still geared toward the hot dog stuff?
I think it depends on, like, if I'm like cutting a promo on someone. Let's say, for example, like Megabyte Ronnie, right? I don't. So yeah, I had to address this guy. Um, you've seen Megabyte Ronnie? Like, he comes out with a hot dog scarf, trunks, knee pads, and whatnot. Like, that's in my opinion, that's he's biting off of me. So like, my promos would have to be like more aggressive because I say I'm the only. You got this guy coming out with hot dog stuff. Like, that's all me, right? Um, so I would say that my promos would shy a little away from being that hot dog guy to something serious. That's why I wanted to get over Kielbasa, not Kielbasa, like not the Polish sausage, but Kill Basa, as in a play on words, because I think that cutting edge style needs to be there. Once I take that suit off, I need to have that cutting edge style. I can't be goofy anymore. I have to I have to go straight for it. So I think promo wise, it has to be a little different. I have to spice it up a little bit. I have to talk my talk.
Uh, let's stay on this topic of Megabyte Ronnie real quick, because when I put out the graphic of I was going to have hot dog Starks, I put it on the Twitter, the Insta, the Facebook, and on Twitter specifically, you mentioned something that you were going to have to maybe talk a little shit about Megabyte Ronnie. What is going on? What is this history with a hot dog and Megabyte Ronnie? What's going on?
All right. So backstory is this, man. Back in 2018, we both were at a Beyond show. And he came up to me and he was like, oh, we got to have a match one day. And I was like, okay, well, who's this guy? Megabyte Ronnie. Found out a couple years later, this guy has competed in a dozen hot dog eating competitions. Oh. Right? A lot of food competitions. So this guy is hungry, right? So being that I'm literally the only hot dog in professional wrestling, I take offense to that. So as years progress, Ronnie's progressing as well. I notice his gear. And I'm like, wait a damn minute. This guy's copying off of me. I have to fight for this, right? So I decided to call him out. Because we both want this match, He needs to prove something. I need to prove something. But I just feel like he's copying me. I am the only hot dog man from Hot Dog Land. There's no comparisons. There's no multiverse. There's none of that. It's just me. I don't need a partner or anything like that. I'm a singles competitor. I don't need Megabyte Ronnie like that. But for him, he feels like he is gonna beat me, right? Because he devours all these hot dogs, but I'm one hot dog he's not gonna beat. I'm gonna be the only hot dog that beats him. So that's what's going on with that. So right now I'm not changing my my Twitter name from Megabyte versus Hot Dog until I get that match, because I need this match and I want eyes on this match. I want this match to be on TV. Honestly, I want as much people as possible to watch this match and watch history go down when I defeat and eat Megabyte Ronnie.
Do you have any promotion at the top of your head that you would like to have this? Any specific?
I would say the promotion where it started at, it should end at. So I would say Beyond. Beyond is like, you know, widely known. IWTV. Now it's officially on Pluto. I want eyes on this. I really want eyes on this. And you know, WWE even uses some of the Beyond stuff. So it's like I really, really want eyes on this because I want to show the world what I can do and how I am going to defeat Ronnie. So,
Drew from Beyond, if you're happen to watching this in passing, I don't know if you will be, but if you are and you're taking a look-see, book it, my friend. Please book that because Hot Dog Starks is hungry for Megabyte
that's
Ronnie.
right. That's right.
Wow,
like Ronnie's hungry, but I'm even hungrier, man. Like I really want this match, and I it's crazy because I obsess over it. You know, I'm like I've made promos. I haven't released them yet. Don't worry. But I've made promos. I'm doing everything. I'm gonna make match graphics. I'm just gonna do it all because I really want eyes on this match. I really want people to see how I destroy Ronnie in this ring. I really want people to see that. And you know, my fiance, if she could tell you, I'm every time something is like mentioned about me versus Ronnie, and people is like, oh, people want to book it. Oh shoot, what happened? Are you there?
Yeah, but we lost your video.
Okay, this is my video showing. Sorry about that.
There we go.
We're good now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want people to see this. What I can do in the ring. It's just that, man, when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to such a big fight feel, I that's what I want. You know, people always talk about Hogan versus The Rock. I want Megabyte versus Hot Dog. I want that same face to face. That emotion's there, you know, because we both are going to fight for what we want. You know, I want to beat him. He wants to eat me. That's, you know, like this is going to be one hot dog you ain't eating, man. You ain't going to touch me. So that's what I want. I want that WrestleMania, or as we like to call it, Ronnie, that Nathan's 4th of July feel. You know,
wow,
everybody's pointing at the WrestleMania sign. We here pointing at the Nathan sign because that's where it's going to go down.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to keep that in mind. I've been messing with some graphics. I'm going to do some poking around, maybe on my free time and make something fun and send it your way. We'll see what comes. The Nathan sign. That sounds funny as hell. That is hilarious. Now, and I know you're taking it seriously. I don't mean to be laughing, but that does sound absolutely
no, you're good,
hilarious.
Man.
That is fantastic. Creative, though. That's what I'm talking about. The creativity. Without that, you don't get these buildups. You don't get the storylines. You don't get all of this stuff that we're talking right now without creativity.
You see matches, you see matches get put out, but very, very, very rarely you see a storyline with it. And I think telling a story in wrestling is so important. But this, we're telling story. We are going page by page, chapter to chapter. We're trying to read this entire book to the audience because I feel like this is very much needed. And I love that people are on board with this and people are campaigning to get this match happening. There's been promotions that reached out to me about this match happening. And I always say I'm down. I'm always down for it. I know, but Ronnie always wants a bigger stage. And I'm like, you know what? That's not wrong. That's not wrong either. Because I'm cool with it, you know? But Ronnie wants a bigger stage. And that made me realize, you know, this should be on a big stage. So no disrespect towards anybody else, you know, any other promotions, but like, you know, we want this. We want eyes on this. We are going to try to get this on TV. We're going to do whatever we can. I'm going to do whatever in my power to get this to happen. So, like I said before, I'm very thankful that people are encouraging this to happen and people want this match to happen because this is going to be crazy. I tell you that much. This match that we're going to have is going to be crazy. It's going to be ketchup, mustard, relish, the fixins flying everywhere. Trust me.
A smorgasbord of condiments will be a flying. I'd like to compare your crossroads right now. Well, not your crossroads, your evolution of character. I'd like you to compare it with another athlete that I'm familiar with, and I don't know if you are. His name is Leon. He was formerly known as King Leon VI. Then he changed over to King Leon the Black Blade, and now he's at another crossroad or an evolution, if you will, and he's just called Leon. And you and him are very similar on the same token of I'm a damn good in-ring performer. I need my chance to shine away from the gimmick part of what I bring to the table. And you guys are both doing the same thing kind of at the same time right now. And I feel this is such a good time for fans because we're getting to see so many different changes with our independent talent. Never mind the ones that are being signed. I love the independent level, okay? And I know we all watch the WWE and the AEWs and all of that stuff, and we like to see our talents get to that platform. And I congratulate every single one of them. And it's always been a lot of hard work to get there, and I get that. But the independent level, I absolutely love, and I will love forever because of what it gives us, the fans, that intimacy, and get to see your career build from the ground up. And not only that, we get to see, like we're talking right now, the evolution of the talent's careers. And I would never change it for anything in the world because I think it's just very interesting for me, the world of wrestling and the way it does that. Now, previous to being a hot dog, what did you have going on? Were you like you had to have something going on? What were you doing previous to that?
Are you familiar with the 1985 film The Last Dragon?
I do. He was like a Bruce Lee kind of prodigy kind of thing going on there.
Right. So the main antagonist of that movie was called the Shonuff, or Shonuff for short. That was my gimmick. I was portraying Shonuff from that movie. So my gimmick was I had a martial arts red gi with like leopard print on it, and I'll have these like these party shades, right? And I would be like, "Who's the master?" And that was my thing. And I was doing that for a while because I do have a martial arts background and karate and mixed and all that other stuff, but it's just like it wasn't reaching the audience how I wanted it to. I started out as a baby face, turned to a heel, back to a baby face, and like no one understood it. And I didn't like that. Only a few people got it, and like it's kind of cool to hear, your name chanted by people, show enough, but it wasn't. It didn't get that reaction I wanted. So okay, That's why I was more open to being another character like Hot Dog. I was like, I have nothing else to lose. I have everything to gain. So if I become a hot dog, that's fine. I don't have anything to lose. I already didn't have fans like that. So I'm not going to lose any fans. So yeah, why not? I tried it and now I got the reaction I wanted. Let's go, hot dog. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. I love it. Or they start singing my theme song. Hot dog, and I start dancing and I love all of that. I love all of it because that's all I ever wanted in wrestling, and I feel like not saying my wrestling career has been fulfilled, but like that part of my wrestling career, I've gotten. I've been in front of thousands of people where you hear your name and it's like, this is crazy, right? So it's just been a wild, crazy journey, and I love it. But Shonuff, he didn't cut the mustard. Okay. He didn't cut the mustard. He couldn't catch up to the competition. So there's that.
Yes. Oh man. That is one thing I have noticed about when Hot Dog comes out. You engage and like you said, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. Your theme song, your costume, your energy, it all does the work for you before you even hit that ring, my friend. And the crowd is automatically with you right off the ripper. And there are very few talents that get that kind of reaction every single event, no matter where you go. And I know not everybody knows who Hot Dog Starks is, but I've also seen people that have never seen Hot Dog with myself and just get right into what the crowd is doing with you. They're like, man, this is fun shit,
Mm-hmm.
So it's very engaging that way. And you've always taken command with it and soaked that in and utilized that and give us that dance of fan and wrestler. That's one of those things that's a lost, not a lost art by any stretch, but it it gets lost by some athletes, and with you, it does not. It's always there, very prevalent from when your song kicks in and you come out that curtain. Even even taking your hand off and whacking somebody with it, or whatever. Those little things. Um, Now, the gear that you have now, that we're seeing Hot Dog Sarks level up into, who is making that?
That's by Lori Grassi. She is from No Gimmick Gear.
Oh,
She
okay.
does a lot of people's gear. Max Caster is like one of her like top clients.
Yeah.
He's always. And first time I seen Max's gear, I was like, "Oh, this gear's fire!" It's straight up platinum. And I was like, "That's why he's it's platinum Max Caster. That's so cool." Um, so I think I asked him like, "Hey, like who made your gear?" And he was like, "Oh, this person, No Gimmicks Gear." I said, "Okay, cool. I mean, I'll look into them." Um, and yeah, like I looked at all her work and people who she's you know created work for, and I was like, wow, like she's pretty good. So I was like, why not? I got the top first. I got my top first, but I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what else to wear. I didn't have an idea for tights. I didn't have an idea for gauntlets. I didn't have an idea for anything. So she kind of helped me with my tights. And I was like, you know what? Like my gear itself is kind of based off of Cheeseburger's old gear.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cheeseburger is now known as the world famous CB,
Right.
right? So he's moved on to
Mm-hmm.
his new thing. And I was like, you know what? Like that's okay. I'll step up and take that mantle of Cheeseburger. So my gear is heavily inspired by the world famous CB or Cheeseburger, if you want to call him that. But that's what my gear is pretty much based off of.
Now, I've seen yourself and Cheeseburger do some work, if I'm not mistaken, more than once. How is it to work? Because now you're getting, and now Cheeseburger kind of made himself more famous with the New Japan into the ROH thing, and then the independent. It kind of spread that way. It was kind of a little more reversed and more
Yeah,
indie than up. It was kind of weird how that happened.
yeah.
Um, but how was it? Because he's more of a gimmick guy too, and I mean, for Christ's sake, his name is Cheeseburger. So you've got a cheeseburger and a hot dog. But getting you guys together, the crowd loses their ever-loving minds because you guys are such fan favorites. So you get together, and it's like magic. To be honest with you, it just kind of flows real easily because the fans were both familiar with both of you guys, and now you've either worked together or worked against each other or what have you. How is it working with Cheeseburger in that kind of environment?
All right. So I would say when I first met Cheeseburger, well, actually, no, not when I first met him. When we first like had our match and I had to meet him, I was nervous. This guy's been on TV. This guy's been around the world, and I'm facing him in a match. Um, what do we do? So you do the basics. You shut your mouth and open your ears, and I just listen to him. I've learned that always listen to always listen to him because he knows what he's doing. We're not too far in age, and we're not too far in wrestling years, but he's been around the world. He's been around the block. He's well respected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so teaming with him, I'm usually the guy who just joke. I joke around so much, man. I it's like talking to anybody else. Like he's really cool to be around, but like there is that barrier. It's like okay, can I cross this line? Can I joke about certain things with him because he look where he's from. He's a guy who's built up a bunch of respect, and it's like can I break those barriers? Can I like break those walls down? And he loves it, man. We love chatting it up. I'll talk to him here and there. I'll ask him about certain matches. But I realized something about Cheeseburger that he's very, 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 very helpful. This man has taught me how to lace up my boots. Put it that way, and I mean that literally. He's literally told me how to lace up my boots. He's given me so much advice. He loves my new gear. I told him it was based off of him. He was like, yeah, it's dope, man. Um, but yeah, he's very helpful, especially like, when we're both at like Camp Leapfrog,
Mhm.
people just, everybody, all the campers go up to him and ask him, hey, how's my match? How's my match? And he was like, he'll let them know. Because Burger is like, he's the veteran of Camp Leapfrog.
Mhm.
And that's awesome. So anytime anyone's in the locker room or have a match with Cheeseburger or anything like that, ask him. Ask him how your match was. He'll because I know for a fact he'll watch it. He's done it.
Mhm.
I've sat next to this man and watched multiple matches, and we've discussed them. So yeah, this guy is very, very, very helpful, and I'm so grateful that him and I have gotten the opportunity to actually wrestle against each other, tag with each other, and now we're pretty much cool. I call him Big Brother Berg because he is like an older brother to me. Because he does give me advice. He tells me if I'm right or wrong. He'll just let me know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how it is.
It's always nice to have the knowledge um, of 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 a guy who's had those experiences worldly, internationally. Being able to give him an instance. Hey, I had this match. Could you check this out? Where do you think I went wrong? Where do you think I shined? And he seems to be one of those guys that will always take the time to just sit there and check it out and give you honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that about Cheeseburger. You're definitely not the first guy that I've ever heard that
Yeah.
about him. Total professional. Um, could you kind of continue and talk to us about the topic of Camp Leapfrog? Because I've had Ref Gina Blue Shoes on this show really not that long ago, and we were talking Camp Leapfrog, and it was right after you guys had this kind of dress up thing. It was a retro, a main event was Chewbacca Lion, and there was a lot of stuff going on over at Camp Leapfrog. You guys have a lot of fun over there. Could you talk to us about Camp Leapfrog?
Camp Leapfrog is pretty cool. It's something I was watching on like IWTV, or I just seen random clips of it on Twitter or Instagram, and I was like, "What is this?" Um, in a good way though, obviously. Like, what is this? I'm very intrigued. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling is very scarce nowadays because of the pandemic that's going on. So, for the heart, the wrestler in me was like, you want to wrestle. You want to wrestle. Just wrestle. Just hit them up. So I hit up Camp Frog. And my first day there was pretty cool because you can just tell that this is such a giant step up from like just the locker room aspect. It's a giant step up because you can have toxic locker rooms, and you can have a locker room like Camp Leapfrog where everybody is trying to build everybody up. There's no negatives, there's straight up positives. So that's one thing I love about Camp Leapfrog. It's nothing but positivity. And everybody's just like I said with Cheeseburger, everybody's real with you. Everybody will let you know. Everybody watches each other's matches. It's just a great environment. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Beyond. Everybody's around the ring and whatnot. But this is it's so different. I can say it's similar to Beyond, but it's not Beyond. It's completely its own element. We did an outdoor show yesterday, Camp Leapfrog live, Camper's Choice, and that was cool. I faced the formerly known as Hermit Crab, King Crab. I faced him in
Oh,
the losing effort, of course, but it
oh wow.
was a good match. All the matches were good. My favorites are the main event. The main event are my absolute out of anybody in Camp Leapfrog. No disrespect towards them. The main event is literally the main event. Like I love those guys. They are very athletic. They're very creative. I love them. Um, but yeah, that energy at Camp Leapfrog is just bananas. I love it. I love it.
I hear a lot of positivity, just like you've stated, reiterated. The positivity at Camp Leapfrog is off the charts, and it's good to hear that there's promotions out there that are just pushing and elevating each other to get to that next step of your career or what have you. So that is so good to hear. And some of the talents that are down there, like you're saying, the main event, man, these guys are starting to skyrocket themselves. And man, do they look fantastic. Their gear is always just simply amazing. I mean, holy cow. Great couple guys the main event is. Now, where does Hot Dog go from here? Because I know that you're in this evolution, this transition, if you will. Are you looking to spread out to maybe even more promotions than you were before? Because now you're thinking to yourself, I'm not limited with trying to be, in a costume of sorts. I have gear. I'm trying to get myself taken more seriously. Are you going to try to open more doors and just, kind of pound those barriers down, my friend?
I'm in the process of doing that. I know promoters are probably hesitant on booking me because all they've probably seen is gimmicky stuff. So it's kind of difficult, or yeah, I guess it is difficult to try to book me into something because they don't know what I can do. So now I just have to figure that out. But I am more than happy to keep looking for different promotions, and hopefully they can trust me enough to prove to them that I'm actually really good talent. I know I'm good talent. I'm great talent. It's just I know promoters are hesitant. Like I remember being at one show and I did really well, and I asked the promoter like, hey, like anything else coming from this? And they said, hey, I want to book you, but I don't know how to book you. And I was like, just book me. And I can show you, but I know promoters are hesitant, but I am looking at other places. Like Invictus is on my list of places I want to wrestle. Violence and Suffering, I want to get back there again. Um, there's a bunch of places. Like I said before, Beyond is the top tier of my list right now. I would love to do some AEW dark work if that opportunity ever presents itself to me. If I ever get that chance to do it, that'd be awesome. Anything with WWE again, that'd be dope. But I'm still looking. It's a grind out here, especially with this pandemic going on. So you got to be more aware of what's going on too, because you can go to a new wrestling spot, and then there'll be no fans there, and that kind of sucks sometimes because my second win usually is from the fans. I literally feel that energy, and I embrace it, and I just use it to my advantage. But they're not there. It's like that second win is not there. It's non-existent. So I have more of a chance to get blown up in a ring, which I don't want that to happen ever. But yeah, I am still looking. I'm on the prowl.
Yeah. Well, I know you've seen it. The dates are flying off the charts right now. Holy cow, the flyers that are coming out is insane. But you mentioned Invictus. I want to pull out real quick. I'm going to go check out Invictus Pro Wrestling for my very first time, April 24th in Bloom. I'm going to go check that event out. Me and my dad are going to take the ride. It's about 2 hours for me. And we're going to
Okay.
go check that out and hopefully have a good time. It's outdoors at Knights of Columbus. A fine card is being built. I can't wait to check that out. So that's going to be a good time. I can't wait for that, man. Now,
Yeah. I was talking with Leroy Green, Big Game, or Big Drip, as he likes to be called now. Big Drip, Leroy
Big
Green.
Drip.
I think he's like the social media champion or something like that.
He is.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. That's another person who's evolving, and trying to elevate his character because he doesn't want to be just same as me. He doesn't want to be labeled as a gimmick anymore. He wants to show people what he can do and show people that he can do it all, just like how I want to show people I can do it all. So big props to Big Drip, Leroy Green, the Swiss Kid.
And speaking of Big Drip, not only did he win he's the first ever inaugural social media champion, but they had a tournament for that thing. It wasn't like he just had one match and it was a one and done. Yeah, he had to go through a tournament for that bad boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I faced Leo before. He's a tough competitor, and I definitely want a rematch with him because he beat me the last time. But right now we're pretty cool. But I guess I'll spring that on him a little later. But yeah, he's doing his thing. I don't want to impose on his career right now. I don't want to ruin nothing. So, yeah, I think we're both somewhat doing the same thing, but we're doing it like different ways. That day, April 24th, I have the Poly M Cult Party 3, where I'll be the Bundertaker.
Oh,
I think there's talks of me teaming up with Pancakes, and we're going to call him Pancane,
oh
because we're
wow.
probably do the Brothers of Consumption. Uh, so yeah, Pancake is pretty cool. I wrestled his first match, and it was awesome. He's such a great talent, and if he's already good, so he only gets better from there. So I would love I would love to tag with him. So now I think we're going to tag with each other April 24th at the Polyamco Party 3. And it should be fun. That's an outdoor event. I think it's in Pittsburgh. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Wow. It sounds like an absolute blast, and all of the play on words just gets me going, man. I love that stuff. um, Now you're out of the NYC area, is that correct?
I had just moved out of New York City. I live in Lodi, New Jersey now. So
Oh,
I can still kind of be considered part of the NYC crew, but I'm on the alumni list, because I don't live there no more, but I know all the areas and whatnot. So it is kind of it's a bit different. It's a bit different. It's not what I'm used to, but this is what it is now. But
yeah.
I guess you could still say I'm part of that crew.
Do you watch the current product that is on TV? Because, uh, and which is kind of to my chagrin, not all wrestlers watch all of the higher platform wrestling. They kind of maybe keep to the independent scene, if you will. Where does Hot Dog Stark sit in that? Do you watch all the WWE and all of those bigger companies along with the indie stuff, or where are you at?
It all depends. I could watch WWE all the time. I watch it Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, today even Sundays.
Mhm.
Um, AEW, I'll watch. If they have a pay per view, if my friends are on it. If my friends tell me like, "Hey, watch the show," I'll watch the show because I'm supporting them. But if they don't tell me anything, I'm probably no disrespect towards AEW because that is a good spot. I'll watch certain things from them, like if Sting is on. Like I love Sting. Sting's like one of my all time
Mhm.
favorite professional wrestlers. I'll watch if Sting's on. I'll watch if he's doing something. I'll watch if Beer Country's on because those are my boys. Caster and Bowens. I know Bowens is out right now, but I know Caster's doing his thing right now as a singles competitor as well. So I'll watch when they're on. Even MJF too, because his pinnacle, as a response to Chris Jericho's Inner Circle, is like it's bananas. And he's got like all these people on his team. He got FTR. He's got Tully Blanchard. Man, it's crazy. Because I watched these kids grow. I'm not gonna call them kids anymore because look at them, they're grown men now. But I watched them when they first entered the wrestling business, and look at who they're at now.
Mhm.
So the people I've mentioned, I was there probably for all their first matches, and now it's beautiful. It's a sight to see, when they are on TV. But I don't watch it much, but I try when I can.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Indie stuff. I'll watch some indie stuff, but not all indie stuff. Like I'm subscribed to Chaotic on Twitch, because my boy TJ Crawford is on Chaotic a lot.
Oh man,
He,
what a fine match you had with Cashew! Holy
yeah,
cow!
I have to
Yeah.
watch that match because like we have to hang out. Usually he'll come over here and we'll watch his matches if I haven't seen him yet. So I don't think I've watched that match yet. I watched a couple of his matches. I think it's him versus Tyree Taylor or something like that.
Yeah.
I've yeah, TJ Crawford is a big prospect in the Indies right now. Like he should be everywhere. If he's not, he should be.
I know.
Um, and I don't say that to gas his head up. I genuinely mean that. I mean that with all my friends who are not signed. So anybody who's not signed, I think they're really good. I'm honest with like, hey, like you should be everywhere. You are doing your thing. You are making your strides. You're grinding it out. And TJ Crawford fits the mode of people who should be everywhere, who should be on TV right now. And he's one of the top people who are unsigned in my opinion. But yeah, I watch Chaotic. Obviously Can't Believe Frog or Pro Wrestling Magic. I have to watch certain things if I'm not on those shows, but I wrestle there. I have to watch them because most likely I'm going to come back to these places like Pro Wrestling Magic. I haven't been there for a couple months now because storyline purposes, I'm dead, you know? So if we have a dead hot dog, what comes from it, right? The Undertaker. So most likely the Undertaker is going to return back to Pro Wrestling Magic, and we'll see what progresses there, you know? But yeah, like I'll watch some indie stuff here and there. I can't watch it all. It's a lot. You know, I do have IWTV, the app and whatnot, but it is a lot to watch. There's a lot of indie stuff to watch, so I can't keep up to date with all of it, but I keep up to date with some of it.
That is definitely a very excellent statement. You cannot keep up with all of wrestling nowadays because it's been so flourishing over the last couple of years, maybe three, for the last 2 to 5 years or so. It's just been coming out like mad. There's been so many wrestlers and promotions and just all over the world. It's not even just the United States. It's just like so crazy to be a fan nowadays. But then you can't soak in all of the content, because there's just so much.
Yeah.
So you do get to miss out a lot. But, you find in your case, you find maybe peers that'll turn you on to certain workers that you never heard of. And with us, it's like, hey, have you ever checked out blah, blah, blah? No, I haven't. Well, go over there and check out blah, blah, blah. And, so when you get to learn about new talent and new promotions, it's always cool. That's why I like when the talent comes on here that we mention the promotions that they frequent or what have you. So in case you don't know these promotions, that to the people that are listening, they get to type them up and check it out, and get more fans onto those said promotions and, your pages and such, Now, Mr. Mr. Hot Dog Starks, I really did not think you were going to ever even accept my offer of coming onto the show, because if there's anything, I know that one Hot Dog Starks is a very busy man, and he's got a lot of condiments to deal with. He's got a lot of buns to deal with, and he's leveling up as we speak right in front of our eyes. So I really wasn't sure if we were going to be able to connect. So I cannot thank you so much. I totally thank you for taking the time, setting it aside, talking to us, the fans, getting to know Hot Dog. We learned so much about you today, my man. I appreciate it big time.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on, man. Like this is a cool conversation. I like it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, we definitely got to do it again, man.
Oh, absolutely, because there's definitely, and I don't like to I've done more than hour-long interviews. I'm not afraid of those. But what I have done in the past, you know who Dan the Man is?
Yeah. I know. I love Dan the Man.
Okay. I hate to bring his name up. It's not something I like to do on a regular basis. But I did my longest interview to date right now is 2.5 hours. And it was with Dan the Man. But not only was it with Dan the Man, he made me talk to a beautiful Davy Cole likeness, Funko Pop doll of Dan the Man. I talked to a fucking plastic doll for 2.5 hours, my man. So yeah, I don't
think that makes you crazy. I talk to Frankie every day, and he's not real, so
that's true. I didn't mean to drop an F-bomb, but he gets me all tirade. He gets me all amped up just thinking about talking to a plastic doll for 2.5 hours. But my point being is, I think around an hour is kind of good because we don't get everything. There's still plenty more to talk about, and maybe we can get something in the future with Hot Dog Starks. See what's going on in your career in the near future.
Yeah, I'm more than open to having another conversation like this. This is pretty cool because it does give insight on what I want to do in life and what I want to do in wrestling and what I want to do as far as like Hot Dog goes and whatnot. Like, so yeah, these conversations are pretty cool, man. I enjoyed it, man.
Awesome. Now, before we let you go, I know you've been on plenty road doing the drives, if you will. There's 2 things that I'd like to squeeze out of you before we leave. First, is there any, and I know you've got a lot of characters that you share their cars with. There's got to be one little road story that's maybe clean or legal enough that you could share with us. I see a smile. I see a smile
I
there.
gotta think back because I have like good ones. I have like scary ones. Man, I took a long journey home yesterday. Like I have stories, man. I got battle scars for all these. So
Well, maybe the next time we see hot dog, we can start right off the ripper with a couple of those and get it going right. Anyway.
all right, that's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. So let's do that. We'll start off our next one with some road stories. That'll be a blast. So let's finish off with then. How do we find you as fans and maybe promoters that are looking for hot dog starts? Where do we find you on the social medias?
You can find me on Instagram at Hot Dog Starks. That's HOTDOGSTARKES. All in one word. You can find me on Twitter with the same name, Hot Dog Starks, HOTDOGSTARKES. Don't look for me on Facebook because I don't have a Facebook page. I do have a regular personal page, but don't try to find me on that because that's, if they're not you, then why bother? If they're not trying to like book me for a show, then there's no need for them to follow my personal page or anything like that. I have a Pro Wrestling Tees page. You can find my Pro Wrestling Tees page at prowrestlingtees.com/hotdogstarks. Same way spelling, nothing different. Where I have a wonderful collection of shirts. So you can look at those. I don't know if I have anything else. I think that's it so far. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I covered everything. So,
Is there a YouTube or somewhere we can check out footage of hot dog?
all right, my YouTube is under construction right now. I still have to upload videos and whatnot. I suck at YouTube videos. I suck at that realm of social media. I suck at because it is so hard to get footage from promoters. Where I wrestled it. How fair is that? Where I wrestled a match for you, but you can't release the video to me. So yeah, I only got like 2 or 3 things, 2 or 3 videos on my page right now. But you can still find me on youtube.com/hotdogstarks. So everything you can pretty much find me is /hotdogstarks.
Keeping it relative, keeping it similar across the board. You want that. You definitely want that. Again, you've shared so much information. You were open, hung out like a couple of friends, talking some wrestling and hot dog, and I cannot appreciate that enough. And talking to us, the fans, because we see the talent at the shows, boys and girls, and we want to get their merch and we want to talk to them, and they only have maybe a couple minutes to speak to us and whatnot. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted to get this show going a ways back, was to be able to get to talk to our talent, learn about them, see where they're going. How's their character doing? If now we've seen right before our eyes, we've got a guy who's in transition, going from hot dog Starks to hot dog Starks, but in a very different manner, if you will. We see it in a lot of the talent. So I love that you were open and candor and informational with us, and it just makes for a grand time. So we, the fans, can get to know the talent just a little bit more. And I thank you for that, sir.
Thank you. Like I said, thank you for having me on, man. I much appreciate it.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest, Hot Dog Starks. Yes!
Yeah, make sure you guys listen to this, man.